Hello and welcome to today's lesson. I'm really excited about this session because today we're diving into one of the most important sounds in English, the schwa sound. Mastering this sound can completely transform your English. By the end of this lesson, you'll have a clear grasp of how and when to use the schwa. So let's get cracking with the lesson. So why is the schwa so important? First off, this is the most common sound in English, so you will find it in places you've never imagined. Second, the schwa is the default articulatory setting. The default articulatory setting refers to the basic, relaxed position of the organs of speech. This is the natural position of the tongue, lips, and jaw when native English speakers are silent or hesitating. For example, when a native speaker of English is thinking or pausing, they might make a sound like
motivation, self-improvement.
Second point, if you aren't decided on who you're going to vote for yet,
Favorite thing about Bristol?
This differs from Spanish, where the hesitation sound is often eh. Notice how the back of your tongue is higher than the schwa. Now let's look at the articulation of schwa in more detail. If you're familiar with the vowel chart, you'll see that the schwa is right in the center. This central position means it's a very neutral sound. It's not high and fronted like eh. And it's also not low and back like, for instance, ah. A very useful reference point is the level of the lower teeth. So the tongue should be flat and level with the lower teeth. The tip of the tongue rests gently behind the lower teeth. To practice, let's place a sweet or candy, as the Americans would say, in the center of your tongue and say Notice how the candy helps keep your tongue flat and relaxed. If the back of your tongue moves up, like when saying it's too high, and the candy would probably fall. Now, moving on to the lips, keep them completely relaxed. They shouldn't be pushed forward or spread like this or like this. This is very, very important because the schwa is an unrounded sound. Now, your jaw should be relaxed and slightly open, with some space between your teeth. A very common mistake for us Spanish speakers is to be influenced by spelling. For instance, this word, you might be tempted to say offend, right? When in actuality, it's pronounced offend, offend. The same happens with this word. It has 3 A's in the spelling, but 2 of them are schwas. Banana, banana, or banana in American English. So let's look all the possible spellings schwa can have. Now listen carefully and then repeat. About, effect, woman. Panda. Oblige. Offend. Gentleman. Problem. An oven. Mother. Center. Teacher. Quality. Suppose. Support. Supply. Now notice how in each of these words the stress is not on the schwa. The schwa is weak and short. Color. Doctor. Measure. Picture. Nature. Famous. Infamous. Now, if you're thinking, why does it even matter if I replace the schwa sound with another sound? People will still understand me, right? I'd love to say that's the case. However, mispronouncing the schwa sound can sometimes lead to misunderstandings. If you don't believe me, check this out.
What is it?
Type omelette.
Omelette.
Like the food, but it's a pop culture.
What food is that?
Omelette.
Omelette.
Like eggs.
Omelette!
Omelette.
So in that video, the girl pronounces the schwa sound with an E sound. And even if for us Spanish speakers, that doesn't sound like a big deal, native speakers of English may get confused or thrown off by this, just like in the video I showed you. Here we have 3 E's in the spelling, but no E sound. Let, omelette. Or in American English, omelette, omelette. Now, so far, we've been discussing the pronunciation of content words. If you're not familiar with this term, a content word is a word that gives us the most important information in a sentence. These are nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. Now, grammar words or function words are words that glue sentences together. These are prepositions, articles, pronouns, and conjunctions. Content words are pronounced with emphasis because they carry the core meaning of the sentence, and our brains need to focus on understanding them. Function words, on the other hand, are less critical for meaning and therefore can be pronounced in 2 ways. A strong form where the sound is fully articulated, and a weak form where the sound is reduced, often to a schwa. In natural speech, we often use the weak form of function words to help the listener's brain prioritize the content words, which are the most important, making communication more efficient and easier to understand. Now, lots of function words like these have a weak and a strong way of pronouncing them. Let's look at some examples. Strong form, to. Weak form, t. And sometimes it's so imperceptible that sounds just like t, t. Now to master this, practice saying t, 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 just like stuttering. T, t, two, t, t, two, t, t, two. T, t, two, t, t, two. Now let's add other sounds. A quarter to two, a quarter to two, a quarter to two. You've just said a very natural and fluent way, a quarter to two, a quarter to two, a quarter to two. Strong form, four. Weak form, f, and sometimes just f. So using the stuttering technique, do the same. F, f, four, f, f, four, f, f, four. Strong form, can. Weak form, kin, kin. Strong form, from. Weak form, from. Strong form, have. Weak form, have. And sometimes just of, without the H. Strong form, and. Weak form, it's got three. We've got and, and sometimes just n. Strong form, the. Weak form, the. Now be aware, because as native speakers of Spanish sometimes say they, like the house, instead of the house, the house. Okay? Now let's practice with some sentences. We can leave now. We can leave now. We can leave now. So just pretend that the first two words are just one. We can leave now. Let's go to work. Let's go to work. Let's go to work. That's for me. That's for me. That's for me. Did you go to the shop? Did you go to the shop? Did you go to the shop? Very, very good. Now you might be wondering, when do we use the strong form then? We can use it for emphasis, or when we say the word in isolation, or before a pause. Also, we use them, the strong form, at the end of sentences. Let's take a look. This gift is from Noah, not for Noah. I want to buy a car. Now here, you can actually say to or to, the weak form. You can use whichever you want. I want to buy a car, or I want to buy a car. What are you waiting for? We can't end the sentence with a weak form. We can't say, what are you waiting for? But then if you want to reply, of course you can use the weak form because it's not going to be at the end of the sentence. For instance, I'm waiting for the bus. For the bus. Now, switching from using only strong forms to using weak forms takes time, practice, and energy. And our brains don't like wasting energy. So your brain will try everything to keep you using strong forms all the time. The way to fight your brain is to put a lot of conscious effort at the beginning. Just to train your brain to do it until it becomes a habit and you no longer have to think about it. Once mastered, using weak forms in connected speech will help you sound more fluent and maintain the natural rhythm of English. Right, that's the end of today's lesson. I really hope you enjoyed it, and as I always say, keep practicing. And remember, I'm here to support you. You're doing great. See you in the next one. Bye.